Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin. I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown!
Hello! Welcome to darkness.
My old friend.
My old friend.
There we go.
Hey! Whatever you saw, you didn't see
Didn't
anything.
automatically turn on the camera for some reason. That was weird.
You definitely didn't see anything.
It's been that kind of night, folks.
Yay! Okay, sorry. There you go.
Sorry we're late. Hi. Welcome to the
Hello,
show.
welcome. Time to talk. I see you already got started with the smack talk in the chat. This is great. So you're all warmed up and ready for this top 10 overrated games. I have a feeling that, yeah, it's going to get exciting. I just
Alright,
red
so-
alert signs and all sorts of stuff going on in
So
here.
we just jump in, or am I going to do my levels of caveats?
Oh, why break with tradition? Why?
So, let me start off by saying a couple of things. One, these are my opinions.
Well, yeah.
And those are her opinions. But what I'm discovering, more and more, the games that I dislike revolve more around the experience I had with the game, more so than the actual like mechanics and theme and things of a game. That makes sense? Does that make sense?
You're starting to come around to my way of thinking, it sounds like.
Well, for this list anyway, it's the
Interesting.
experience I had, because some of these games I can take a step back and look at the game and go, yeah, that's probably a pretty good game, but I had a horrible time playing that game for whatever reason.
Sorry, I shouldn't even look at the chat.
What are they doing?
Because I have somebody saying, hey,
Oh, my
overrated games-
antifreeze?
Yeah, there was the antifreeze. Mios are the devil, man. They look like you're going to
Caffeine Mio is what that is.
Well, and then Neutral saying, overrated games. Are there 10 18XX games?
Hey, we're back.
Hey, look.
No, are we back? We're
Yeah,
back!
We're back. Great. So...
That was exciting.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not sure what you missed, but she said that she doesn't
Nothing.
like making this list because she loves everything.
That's not what I said. Oh. Anyways. So, how I looked at this is, I looked at the top 500 games on BGG. I think it was, no, 200. 200.
No, we got almost 600 games.
Did we go? Okay, well,
You had to go pretty far to be able to find the ones.
for me, that I was like, this isn't rated where it should be, in my opinion. And I was like, some of these games I actually like, but I just think they're not in the right spot. But others, I'm like, not so great a game.
I had to go to 575 to get my top 10.
Wow. Okay.
But these games, for the most part, I do not like.
Okay. Mine are
It's
a
not
mixed
like
bag.
I think they're rated low. I just don't like them.
Okay. I have some I like. I actually have some I like, and some I really like. There's a couple of those that I actually really like, but they're just not ranked where they should be, in my opinion. Yeah, I know. Ouch.
All right, you ready to get her started?
Yeah.
All right.
That only sounded like you had like 5 caveats or whatever you want to call them instead of your 10,000.
You also said the one I said.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I-
Just making sure. We got to cover all
some
the
of my
bases.
bases. All right, let me switch this over. All right, I think we're ready to roll. Let's do it. Now, number 10.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10. Wow, I just popped right in there. Whoops. All right. Wow, that's funny. I pushed the wrong button. Jumped right in. I was gonna have a preamble for this, but oh well. So Puerto Rico is my number 10. This used to be the number 1 game on Board Game Geek for a while. It's hovering in. It's right now. It's 26. So it's one that everyone loves. This is one of those games that I very much can step back. This fits my category of I can step back and see that this is a good game. Good mechanics. This game led on to many other games that have that I do like. I like TI 1, 2, 3, 4 are based off this game loosely.
Really?
Race for the Galaxy, San Juan, all those games. I enjoy those games. This one is more the experience, because almost every time I've played this game, I've played it with Puerto Rico experts. And every time I did anything that was outside the flowchart of what you're supposed to do when you play Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the most efficient move. Okay, gotcha.
They complain, why did you do that? That was a stupid move.
Nice.
You should have done this.
Nice.
Why are you not doing this?
Ooh, spicy.
If I picked this, then you should have picked this. I expect you to pick this because of X, Y, and Z.
Why don't you love this game then?
So it's probably a good game. I've just never had a good experience with this game at all. Ever. It's a great game. It's got great mechanics. Games have built on its foundation. But this is one of those games that if you're a pro at it, you can run it for everyone else.
That's true. There's definitely some certain paths that work better.
There's people that have worked out this is the perfect method of playing this game. You do this and this and this, and you get this and this, and if this building's available, you do this, and if you do this combo works well with this combo, and you do no interest. I have never been so far into a game where I dug in that far of this move is 1.5% more efficient than this other move. No.
Not even poker?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure. So what are they saying? They say I'm crazy?
No, they're talking crap about Dominion. You watch it. I can hit that block button from here.
Although I don't really dig too deep in this, but it is very Secret Hitler-esque game.
It's controversial?
Yes, you have little black cubes that do work for you.
Oh, yeah, you do in that game. Oh, Puerto Rico.
Or brown. I guess they're brown cubes that do work for you.
That's jacked up. Puerto Rico.
So, yeah,
so
there's that whole aspect of it, which I don't even factor in this. But it's a great game. Not great for me. I need to play with a bunch of idiots.
Wow.
I need to get me.
Where do we sign up for that one?
Hey guys, we'll play Puerto Rico with 3 people that are idiots about Puerto Rico and give it another try.
Oh, we amended this. Idiots about Puerto Rico. I feel so much better now. How about you guys? If you see him with this game,
all right. What a fun start.
Wow, you're dark.
Normally you make these pictures humongous, and this one's tiny.
I was doing that without looking at them because we were running late. Sorry. All right, my number 10. You guys ready? Here comes the hate and the pitchforks. Maracaibo. I said it. Okay, here you go. This is one of those games. The reason it's number 10. I really like this game. Really like it. Story mode. I really enjoyed the first couple plays of it. And then after that, it started getting very samey. Very samey. And I'm like, this is a good game. Don't get me wrong. But the whole premise of that big unfolding story, I was like, I am not grabbed and amazed by this anymore. First round was fun, but then you're doing the exact same thing, and they just like change a little bit of the text, basically. Okay, well now I won't spoil it. Now you're doing such and such instead of such and such, and I'm like, it's kind of the same move, guys. Okay, woo. So,
or you don't even achieve the objective and you do it again next game.
Yeah, and so you're like, okay, so I really like this game. I just don't think it should be rated as highly as it is on Board Game Geek. So
I just had
overrated.
I just had an epiphany. Is that the right word?
Hopefully,
epiphany.
We'll find out. Depends on what you just did.
We're story snobs.
Speak for yourself.
I'm a snorry snob. I almost made Rebecca spew.
There's a lot of technology that I should not have water near right now.
I'm a story snob. I've come to this conclusion.
A story snob.
I am a story snob. I've made it. Hello, I'm Hunter Thomason, and I'm a story snob.
I'm a stuttering story snob.
I just realized it.
Why? What?
Because Maracaibo's story is garbage.
Okay.
Near and Far's story is disconnected and not very fun for me.
Okay.
What else we got? What other campaigns we didn't like?
Arabian Nights?
Time stories. You do the same. You do like it's repeato. You repeat the same thing over and over again. The flow is gone. Arabian Nights is disjointed and doesn't have any line of thinking. It's you're attacking someone and you get the plague and you hug someone and they stab you in the back and you feed the poor and they camel bite you. I mean, it's just so random. I'm a story snob. A snorry snob.
I like this.
I've come to the conclusion. That's what it is. That's why the Middle Earth is kind of meh for me right now.
The people believe you're actually drinking antifreeze now.
No, I'm running on very little sleep. I don't sleep anymore. That's my Corona curse, is I don't sleep.
Your Corona curse.
So that's why Middle Earth is not working for us. I'm not being drawn in. It doesn't feel epic. It doesn't feel like I'm a hero. It doesn't feel yet.
Okay.
So far, anyway.
We say yet. Yet.
I'm Snorri snob.
Snorri snob. I like this.
Audio's coming
man.
in and out. That's not good.
Huh?
It says audio's coming in and out. Let me make sure everything's plugged in good.
Uh-oh. Man, what's with the tech?
Really? Clank Legacy is awesome. See, that's why I like Clank. That's why I like Clank Legacy. Clank Legacy has a really good story.
Uh-huh.
Pandemic Legacy has a good storyline to it. Yeah, I'm just very picky.
Okay. Now that you've derailed this train of thought and went off a cliff and caught fire and flames and there's just a ball of flames in a valley somewhere. I hope I am.
My turn!
The Campbell
All right, my number 9. My number 9 is Twa. Now, this is a game I thought I would like. I thought I would love. I mean, it's got dice drafting and all sorts of fun cube pushing things. But the game, it feels like nothing.
I almost put this on my list.
It just feels like you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm doing anything. I mean, in a lot of like dry Euros, at least you're like making lots of vegetables or something. This one, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. What is it even about? You make a church by putting cubes? I don't know. I don't understand this game. We got rid of this game. This game.
This is the one that was also really punishing, and like you could attack and destroy something that people worked up to build for a long time, right? If I remember correctly.
We're okay.
Okay.
We're okay.
But it was bad, right? If I remember right.
People love this game. I don't understand it. Chat and comments. Let me know why.
Yeah, Mentat. Let us know why you like Twa, because I want to know. Because
this game,
we obviously missed something.
This game just didn't work for us at all. It did. When I was done, I'm like, I have no interest in playing. We played this game one time, and we never went back to it, ever. And it's just weird to me. And you pay people to take their dice, and it's just strange to me. I'd rather play like Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah.
A million times before I'd play Twa.
And our internet's stinking too.
Yeah, I know.
And yes, I agree. You look at that and you go Twa out of that, and people are saying Troyes or
Troyes.
Troyes. That's what we called it before, and then we were like, oh, it's supposed to be Twa. All right, whatever.
See, I don't know, and I think am I wrong? I may be wrong in this. Isn't Black Angel based off of this, and that's why I haven't gotten Black Angel.
Oh, I don't know. That I don't know at all.
Maybe I'm crazy.
You tell us, guys.
But yeah, this game just didn't work for us. And really, going in, I was excited. When I could see a Euro game with dice, I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah, no, you did. Yeah. Yeah, activity cards which are different each time and drastically change what you can pursue. That's what you like about that? Okay. Oh yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
I mean, like this is another game that I can understand why people like it. It just didn't click for us. And we usually like games like this. Mm-hmm. We like dice drafting. We like dice. Well, I do anyway. I like dice drafting games. I got like half dozen or more back there on the shelf of dice drafting Euro games. Yeah. This one didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work for me.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
I got you. Number 9. I'm probably going to get some hate for this one too. The Resistance. And this is another one of those games, I think you're right. It's like the granddaddy of a lot of those social deduction games and stuff, right? This is one of the first big ones that everybody played. But for me, it's just, I think it's overrated because it's so bare bones. I mean, it's just, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no twist to it. There's nothing. I mean, it's just there.
Yeah, a lot of the games you have roles and you're different.
Yeah,
things. This is just side A and side B.
Yeah. And there's nothing significant about side A and side B. There's nothing really different except that one's good guys and one bad guys. And there's no asymmetrical power play or anything else going on. You have no special abilities, no fluff, no frills, nothing. It is just, you've got cards and you're like, I'm good and I'm bad. I want this to...
we might be back. I hope we're back. Maybe we're back.
Yes, the most overrated number 1, our internet provider. I agree. Which is weird because we're doing so much during the day and not having issues.
All right. So I think we're back. I think everything's fine. So you talking about resistance, bare bones?
Yeah.
I don't remember where we left off.
Yeah, we were talking about
resistance. I'm going to drink some more
resistance.
about antifreeze.
Hopefully you heard my rant about the resistance. It's overrated because it just is. It's the one of those that started it all, kind of got everybody into the whole social deduction thing, and it was bare bones. I don't want to repeat everything totally again. And, yeah, there we have it. I just think it's not... I mean, it's still a good game. It's
I've
just
cooled on
not...
this one, too, for the same reason that I've
Really?
cooled on... It has that same Puerto Rico effect with a lot of people.
Okay.
You're supposed to vote a certain way in the first round. You're supposed to do... If someone does this, you're supposed to do this. And if you don't do this, then you're the traitor.
And you're like, I didn't know these unspoken rules.
Right,
yeah, because I'm not that good at this game.
And the problem is, with something that bare bones, like you said, you can almost math it out, right?
No, that's true.
Because if you're a good guy, you're supposed to vote this way. And if you didn't vote that way, then you're a bad guy. And
that's true.
There's not roles to kind of interject chaos into it a little bit, right? And certainty.
Apparently, our internet's as potent as the storytelling in Maracaibo. I was about to catch a tiny fairy with my left hand. Oh, man, did I catch it? Oh.
What's this?
That would have been cool. Apparently, when the screen froze, I was probably...
Oh, doing something?
Yeah, catching flies or something. Who knows? Apparently, a tiny fairy. I'm very bummed.
All right, my number 8 is the first and possibly not the last of the co-op games on this list. And this is the Burgle Brothers. If I recall correctly, we didn't even finish this game. Or did we finish it?
We did finish it.
We did finish it? Okay, maybe I didn't want to finish it.
You didn't want to finish it.
So, Burgle Brothers is co-op with... And this is going to be a recurring theme higher up on my list. It is so random.
Okay.
It is like... It's like...
But so is robbing something.
It's almost happenstance. Happenstance?
Yeah.
Happenchance? Chance. It's just random whether you win or not this game.
You're like Porky Pig. I think you struggle over it and you say a completely different word. What just happened?
So, it's just for no fault of your own, you can just lose this game.
Well, yeah. You can't plan for every eventuality.
Are you saying it's thematic that you just randomly lose?
Yeah. Do you know where the
So it's like a heist movie and then you get shot in the first scene?
Yeah, because you're a total amateur. Absolutely.
I just couldn't.
You know what? I think
this game was frustrating to me.
You have several rounds or whatever, and one of the rounds we had like the worst possible start for that scenario, and I think that killed it for you.
Oh, that's right. It was the setup. The way it was set up,
there's
almost no way we could get. Mm-hmm. We took all. I guess you take damage or you lose something. I can't even remember the game. There's certain
things that could happen,
and it was just set up in such a way that
we were toast. Yeah.
Thank you.
Red Eye. That's awesome. So, yeah, that's so sweet.
And we did this on the was it the BGG cruise? I think we did this on. We played this, me and you. And,
yeah, I think it was.
And you're right. You're exactly right. I remember now. It was the second level of the building, and we were just toast. Like, oh, you're done. You're gonna have to waste all. I guess you have certain, like I said, there's certain tokens you lose or something you lose. And we knew we were going to lose a bunch of them because just the way we were like here, and the little guy that was moving was like right. There's just no way we'd get past him.
Yeah, there was no way. It was rough. It was rough.
And on top of all this, it's a co-op game.
We all know how much Hunter loves those.
But you were really excited about this game. You were really and you were even frustrated with it.
I was a little bit on that one because we did get hosed on that level. I wanted to redo the level, and you're like, no, power through, and I'm like.
Yeah, you're right. You did. You wanted to reset that level because we just got a bad. There should be something in the rules that if you have certain setups that you should like restart it. Like a lot of games, it's like don't ever put this tile next to this tile, or this tile has to be at least 3 spaces from this tile. Yeah. There should be some kind of setup rules. Maybe we missed setup rules. I don't know, but
we are noobs to that game though.
So yeah, just that game. She wanted to love it, and I wanted to tolerate it, and neither one of those things happened.
I was just looking forward to what a silly. I don't know. I love the concept of the game.
I mean, it was funny. We jumped in the toilet together to hide from the dude.
Did we? I don't even remember now some of the stuff we did. It was hilarious.
I mean, it had its moments, but man.
Oh, I saw Red Eye. That just cracks me up. That was so sweet of you. Burgle Brothers stole your money.
It did. All right, what you got? Oh,
people are talking smack in the chat about.
Why they like Burgle Bros?
No, they're talking smack about some games, and I'm like,
oh, well, you're about to really amp it up a notch with this one.
I know. I deserve probably all the hate.
Let it loose. You ready?
All right, I'm ready. I think Terra Mystica is overrated. Yes, I do. It feels like the clunky, clumsy, obnoxious sibling that people like hide away when other people come to visit, you know?
Wow.
And Gaia Project does everything so much better, and it's a cooler theme. Like, Terra Mystica is just like this old, worn out, blah, basic fantasy. I don't know. I wanted to like it, especially because it's got Gaia Project's based, it's the space version of it, right? But it's so much better. He's
gonna take his money back. Give me my money back. I want my money back. You have to look at the chat to see what I'm talking about. I want my money back. This is what Phil's saying. What is it, Phil? Red Eye? Sigh, Red Eye.
Sigh, Red Eye.
I want my money back.
It's like, oh yeah, thank you for hating on my #2 favorite game of all time.
This is a lot of people's favorite game.
No, it is. And I get it. I mean, I totally get it, but I don't know why. For me, I'm just like, I don't get the love. I just feel like it's just so much, I don't know. Sorry. I just think it's overrated. Play Gaia Project more.
So this almost made my list, and let me fill in.
Oh, you didn't want the hate. I see what it is.
No.
You suspected I was gonna...
No. So let me clarify. We only have like a partial play, and it was a bad situation. So we were at one of the Dice Tower cons, and we went to a demo for this game, and some guy was demoing it, and here is like.
Well, no, it's not just that, though. Okay.
I got a story. I want to tell a story, and then you can jump back in. So here's the guy's demo. Okay, you do this. You move these little things here and here. You put things on the board. Here's how much everything costs. Go. Okay. And I'm not exaggerating.
There was not a lot of why. There was not a why. There wasn't a reason to it. I get that.
But it is very generic. It's almost
it just felt generic.
This is the kind of game that if you are a lover of mechanisms in games and you don't care about what you're doing in the game, this is a great game for you. If you're like really head down mechanisms.
If it's about the mechanism and stuff, it's fantastic. Well, and like Sai is even saying too, like Gaia Project pretty much replaces it, but it's still better than most other games. You're not wrong. I mean, yeah. I'm just saying that it's overrated for what most people rate it as. For me.
Well, for me, the reason it was on my list, it was just a bad experience. It was a frustrating, horrible experience. We didn't... When someone, a good game teacher, kind of draws you in the game a little bit. It's like, you're this very unique race. You're on this planet. You're trying to, spread out and change the land to fit your what I'm saying. It's something to... It was none of that. It was like... Immediately, you move this to here, and this is how much stuff costs, and this is here's your round break. Here's how a round works. Go.
I have 2 words for you.
What?
Snorri snob.
So it was a bad. But now that we've played Gaia Project, I understand that that is built on a foundation of a really solid game. But her more so than me, we like to have like. We feel like we're doing something. We're involved in the game, and I never felt like I was a part of the game. It felt like I was just moving these little purple discs around.
We kind of were at that point.
Moving purple discs around and buying things. We didn't even know how to win.
I mean, no, it's true. We didn't.
We didn't even know how you got points or how you got scored anything. We didn't know anything. So it was a bad experience. But now that we played Gaia Project, like I said, I can appreciate the game, but I have absolutely no reason to go back to that game at all.
Nah, it's just not quite the same. Yeah.
But I would play it if someone wanted to play it.
I would. Totally. Because again, like you guys have said too, it's not that it's a bad game. These are just overrated.
Yes. All right. Move on to a real game.
Oh.
No, I was kidding. Totally
I know. I just want to see what you're smack talking.
My number 7 is.
I haven't even gotten to play this.
Decrypto.
I have not even gotten to play this, and you've colored it.
Oh my gosh. So where do I start on this game?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to play it yet.
It's a co-op word game.
Yes. Oh wait.
With teams.
I don't want to play with you.
And you attack the other teams.
Don't want to play with you.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, this is just. I just don't understand this game. I don't understand. How is it?
I probably am going to love this game.
She would love this game. In fact,
ready.
you probably should learn this game and take it to your Latin class and do Latin Decrypto.
Do you think it's one of those things you could...
Oh, you could easily make this Latin.
But...
So basically, and by halfway through the game, I was already kind of checking out, which I rarely do in games.
It's the antifreeze.
It was the antifreeze. So it's like you're a team against team, and I'm trying to get you to figure out certain words, secret words, right?
Okay.
But the other team is listening in, and they're trying to deduce what words I'm giving you clues for. So I have to give obscure clues to your words so that they can't figure out.
I'm already liking this.
What word I'm hinting to, but you can figure it out because you have a selection of things to pick from or something like that.
Okay.
And it was like, I was like, this.
Nope, that's not your kind of game.
It is not. There is so many things.
It's my kind of game.
Oh my gosh! It was just frustrating because it's my frustration with co-op is you should be thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking when we're playing a co-op together.
Oh Lord, no. Nope.
And so when I give you a clue,
oh no,
and you go over here somewhere with it, over here.
This is why I don't like to play on his team in a word game.
I'm like, my brain just like a blood vessel starts thumping in my.
We should just play Letter Jam live and let
oh
them
my
see.
gosh. Okay, imagine Letter Jam, but more convoluted.
I'm not playing this game with you.
But
I'll take volunteers to play this game.
But you should really try this game. It's your kind of game. You would enjoy this game. It's like what's that game? Is it Password? You have like the little card.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I love Password.
Like, banana, and the other person goes, 18-wheeler. And you're like, what? That was Decrypto to me.
Dude, I loved Password. I used to play that all the time when I was a kid. Okay. All right. I'm ready to try this game.
Are you?
Just saying.
You should.
Yep. All right.
Oh dear.
All right. I've seen.
Man, you're bringing the heavy hitters tonight.
I'm a heavy hitter right here with this stuff tonight, man. All right. So, number 7. I think I've seen you guys flit around with it in the chat. In fact, I'm pretty sure I saw Paul. I think you and I agree on this one, and that is Agricola. Because, oh my goodness. A, Caverna does it way better.
Oh my gosh.
I said it.
I'm going to be over here.
B, okay, Agricola, we all make jokes about it because it's true. All you do is spend time going, I need to feed my people. I need to feed my people. I got to the point where I couldn't even enjoy the other mechanisms and things going on in the game because it was so much of a burden.
Yeah. It's like a weight sitting on your shoulders the whole game.
It wasn't a tense, it wasn't a point of tension. It was just a straight weight. I was like, this isn't fun to me at this point. It's a grind to try to do this, and then if you eke out anything else on the side, bonus. And I'm like, feels like work.
Yeah, feels like work.
I don't want to work right now. Which is weird because, again, I love Caverna.
Yeah.
And...
But some people really like those tight games like that, though, where every decision is really, really
no, and I get that, and
important.
I'm not probably a huge fan of those kinds of games, and that might be part of it too. But I feel like too it's really tight, and it's got that weird, again, it's focused on that. I like the theme to Agricola probably better than Caverna. I don't know why. I like the farming and the vegetables. And
Well,
all that
Agricola is
nonsense,
more real world, right?
yeah, and the Caverna is very genericus, and we joke about the fact that it's cave dwellers, trolls, dwarves. What are they? They say they're dwarves.
They're dwarves.
Okay, whatever.
They're cave farmers.
I rest my case. How many cave farmer dwarves do you know? No, they mine. So yeah. Anyway.
Man, Phil, man.
I love Stardew Valley.
Red Eye, you're officially Phil, because every time I look, it looks like I see Phil for some reason. Don't ask me why.
Oh, for Psy?
Yeah.
You need to get your eyes checked, that's why. You're going to start calling him Phil. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Psy's like, no.
But yeah, this one was on my short list also, but I agree with everything she said. It's a grind. You don't ever feel like you're like, wow, I did something amazing. But the main reason is yet another game. You need to have your oven by round 2, and if you don't have your oven by round 2, if you do this, and if you don't have you should have this many people by round 3, and if you don't do that, then if you have this set of cards, you should be doing this and this and this, and if you have this other set of cards, you should be doing this, and oh my gosh, why do you have these cards? These cards are horrible.
That's how you really feel. But no, you're right, and I like some games like that, but then I don't know. It's really weird. I'm kind of finicky because some of those really meticulous games like that, I either eat them up or I'm like, nah.
But the reason it didn't make my list, because I do understand this is a lot like Puerto Rico. Was the basis for so many other great games. We've only played the very bare bone base set of original Agricola. We haven't played any of the expansions, any of the bazillions of different cards. And our play experiences were not super good. They were kind of not that great. This is one that I've wanted to revisit. But at this point, this is again my opinion. Anyone that's playing Agricola is probably an Agricola pro, and I'd probably have the same issues like, why did you make that oven on round 1 or whatever? You're crazy. You can't even make bread yet. So yeah, I need to play with a bunch of non-pro players. That's what I need to do. Stop playing with pros. I can't play with you anymore. She's a pro.
Don't try to suck up to me. We all know better. We all know better.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
No, it's I think what you need to do is find someone who just loves the game for the game, or just loves playing.
Yeah, but if they love the game, they've played it enough to know what you should and shouldn't be doing. I think
you're playing more with alpha gamers is what your problem is.
Not
true. That it's pros at the game. It's the alpha gaming inside it that I think you're having contention.
You knew it was coming. I bet you didn't think it was coming at number 6, but here it is. Exit the game. Oh.
This isn't games we hate. It's games.
Oh. Oh my goodness. What was this rated? Where is it?
You rated it, what, a 2?
I did rate it a 2.
That's meh. That's not even
Oh my goodness. Okay, I understand people enjoy these games. I understand that people like these games.
I might. I don't know.
But, oh my gosh, any game that makes me red-faced angry.
I'm glad it was the game and not me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And here's the thing. You think, oh, you just don't like puzzles, and you're not a puzzly kind of guy. You don't. I play RPG games where you do these insanely convoluted puzzles.
Zelda's got puzzles and stuff.
Anyone that played Bard's Tale, the original, knows there is puzzle upon riddle upon everything. I love that game. It's when it's when it does things that make no sense to me. That makes me so angry. I just don't get these games. And you can put any escape room. This is a
oh, there you go. That answers your question.
Every escape room game ever made, because
What about a real escape room though?
I think I would actually like it, because it's not, because I don't want to spoil too much the exit. If you haven't played an exit game now, that's your fault. But it does things that make that you would. It makes no sense. It's like, why would I be doing that? You just have to kind of let's try this weird thing that makes no sense with what we're doing. Oh,
it's called creativity, dude.
Oh, man, this game. I'm like, towards the end, I'm like, I don't, if you played these games, you can get clues to help you along, and but it lowers your score. I was like, clue.
Yes,
We're done.
Yes, he was. Well, I was still trying to figure things out.
It's like okay, you got a little square. Here's a random. I'm making up an example. You're like in a tomb, and there's a circular little hole here, right? You think, oh, okay, I need to find something circular, like maybe a staff or a torch or a little thing. No, you find a jackhammer in the corner and you make it a square hole. What? Where did that come from? That's
okay. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. We need to someday
play a live escape room.
You're gonna go in by yourself
and do the escape room.
Yes,
I could be done in like 5 minutes.
You heard it here.
Clue.
See, this is why I want to go with you guys into the escape room. Mr. Troll over here. I love you.
Honestly, I think it's a limitation of the design of the game. They can only do so much, right? They can't make things, because you're playing with a bunch of cardboard, right? You can't make things make sense like you can in a video game or something like that, right? Yeah, you have to go find this gem over here to do this, and you can't do that in this.
Okay, here's what I think. I think part of the reason this play did not go as well is because there are certain games that have a learning curve to them. No.
Oh, we are. You've made this argument before. I don't want to become an escape room expert.
No, I'm not saying, but I'm saying there's a certain mindset and there's a certain way to approach these things, and if you've never been trained or never tried to do it that way, approaching the game just leads to frustration. And I think that's where that is, because we've never done something like in that particular style.
You say we'd have a little Rolodex of things you do in these kind of games?
Yeah, that you would try first off, that you think to try. I mean,
there's one thing in this particular game, that when we did a clue and figured out, I wanted to rip the game up.
See, and then that was my, that's kind of cool and clever moment.
No, I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Anyway, I spoke my piece. You know how I feel about these games.
No one would ever.
I put it
about these games.
This really should go higher, but I understand this is not my kind of game. Oh man. Anyway, let's move on. I'm already getting angry just talking about it. Oh. Oops. How do I reset?
Whoever made the Saw movies also hated escape room games with a passion. Yeah.
Alright, I gotta do this manually. I have to manually do this.
Oh, that's cool. Good to know, Julio.
What's that?
Escape room, the game system is good. We enjoyed every one of them.
Is it different than Exit? That's the only one we've played.
Yeah, we've only played the Exit, but...
So we're doing your number 6? I got off track here.
Yes.
Alright, ready?
Yep. My number 6.
Another
one that a lot of people probably have as like one of their favorites and rant about is Keyflower. We played this and I really wanted to like this because I'd heard nothing but, raving reviews and things like that, and people love this game and stuff. I found it to be clunky. I felt like it was fiddly. Maybe I'm crazy. It felt fiddly to me, and I'm like, a game this highly rated should not feel fiddly. I felt like that the whole game.
I don't think you liked the way the bidding system worked in that
Maybe
game.
that was part of it too. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, I like this one more than her, but not enough to like. We eventually got rid of it, but I think you were just frustrated with the
bidding was weird.
The bidding was weird. You felt like you couldn't make much progress. It was just, and it's
maybe
it's another one of those games that you need maybe 5 to 10 plays where you're like really feeling the game.
Okay, so there's a learning curve with this one too.
We never really played. We only played it two or three times.
I like the look. I like the art. I'm with you. So usually that kind of sells me on the game too. So I
liked it. Joseph, I think I rated it a 7 or 8, but she just had no interest in playing it anymore, so we got rid of it.
Yeah, so take that for what it's worth. Like, Julio, don't let me change your mind on it, because maybe it was just again, one of those, like you said, where I just, for whatever reason, it didn't click.
And you also didn't. I remember now the game's coming back to me. You also didn't like basically the memory aspect of the game. I liked it, but I don't think basically when you hide all your meeples different colors, and so like if you go to a spot and you bid 1 blue, I can bid 2 blue to outbid you. But if I know that you have no blues, I can go boom 1 blue and you can't bid on it.
Yeah.
There's a memory aspect to the game.
Yeah, Sai's saying it's mean too. Yeah, that's.
And it is very mean. Especially the bidding part can be really brutal.
I like some mean games, but I guess this one didn't feel like it should be mean to me. I don't know. Sometimes if there's a game that has a mean aspect to it, but it seems unnecessary, I tend to dislike them. Now, like Survive, that's a really stinking mean game, but it's meant to be.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like Keyflower should be. So
I don't think the fact that you have a better memory should give you an advantage in a Euro game. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of out of place.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just all these little fiddly things just kind of got in the way, and it didn't sell me, and I just felt like it was overrated for what it was. And again, now looking back, there's a lot of things that doesn't. Yeah, see, the cover doesn't look mean.
It's like a Euro game.
Dan? It looks like a
Euro
cool
game.
Euro. I feel maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just felt betrayed and misled. So.
All right.
Oh, I knew this was going to be on your list. I knew this one was going to be on
we already brought this one up. It was already mentioned
We
earlier,
did.
so I'm just going to jump right into Tales of the Arabian Nights.
Okay, once we figured out this was going to be totally random, I just thought it was hilarious.
It is hilarious, but after playing for 3 hours, it's no longer hilarious anymore.
Okay.
I have 17 curses just randomly put upon me. It's not. Some people think that's funny, but
I do.
After playing for 3 hours, it's like, what? And your decision, like I said, what gets me is, I guess you have to have the right mindset or something. But when I go and I see a beggar and I give you a coin. I think, I'm going to do something. You
should get a reward.
It's going to give me some. He's going to give me some culture or whatever
right.
points I get. No, he's a demon. And he bites me in the neck and gives me a
curse,
a curse of some kind. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's
what?
I know. I do agree.
But if you punched him in the face, he turns out to be a escaped convict, and you get. It's just so weird to me.
You're right. There was no rhyme or reason to the stuff.
Because
there were no clues that you could maybe figure out and say, "Oh, he's a bad guy." There was no information.
17 curses of real life Texas. But it should. That's you can't use knowledge of what you've done in the game to know what you need to do next, right? It's like oh, I ran into that beggar 4 hours ago in the game.
Yeah, and
now I know he's a demon, so I'm going to run away. No, you didn't. It's just random after random after random after random.
And it doesn't matter what locations you're going to. The encounters are just random, not based off of those.
Which I'm fine with. If this was an hour-long game,
actually be fantastic.
I would enjoy it. It'd be hilarious. You laugh and you move on. You play something else.
Yeah.
But a 2-player game.
A 2-player game.
And we're not even. I mean, maybe we're not good at this game, and maybe we don't know how to rack up the points.
We're awesome at this game. What are you talking about?
But it's like 3 or 4 hours for 2 players. I couldn't imagine playing this with like 5 or 6 people, or whatever the max player count. It'd be 4 days long.
It's an experience.
It would be 4 days long. Am I wrong?
No, probably not. Hey guys, let us spend an entire weekend playing this really random game.
Yeah, it is a choose your own adventure book. But,
it is.
But most choose your own adventure books are like 70 pages long, and you're done in 30 minutes of reading.
Well, and there's a sequence to it.
Oh, right.
You do have some kind of consequence.
There's a storyline.
Usually.
Right?
Now, sometimes some random weirdness
You walk
happens,
into a cave and you fall and die.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, whatever. I get that to a point. But this, like you said, you give money to a beggar. That should not backfire in your face like that. I mean, without any clues. If they gave you a clue and you're like, oh, I totally missed that. You see how the corner of your eye is sharpened fang. Yeah, or something, and you're like, or just something like there's a weird glint in his eye, or something, anything. There's nothing.
I think really the problem with this game is the length, and maybe you could play with a lower point total, and maybe it'd be okay. But I didn't care enough to even try to house rule it to where it would work.
Yeah.
I like random games, but I want my random games to be short.
Yeah.
Short, like really short.
Yeah.
Like I love inking gold, but it's short.
Yeah.
Short. Anyway.
Gotcha.
Arabian Nights. We got rid of this one too.
I detect a theme. All right, number 5. I think you probably will all agree with me on this one.
There's some people still like this game.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's Catan. Now, the reason I think it's overrated is after a while
There's 10,000 games that does it better.
Yeah, I mean, it's again another one of those. It's the granddaddy of them all, right? It's what got started. I have great memories of playing this game. We've played some fun games of this, but for what you're doing for the length of time, it should not be rated as highly as it is in Board Game Geek. But again, I know it's got its own place in everybody's heart, right?
Well, I think the reason it's so high on Board Game Geek, honestly, is that people haven't revisited and re-rated it, right?
That's possible,
they're
too.
rating it from their first play, which was probably
possible.
10 years ago, and they loved the game.
Again,
and
we played the tar out of this game when we first
until we played a 6-player version of it. And then it was in the trash. Well, it wasn't in the trash.
No, it was not. We just said we're never using this 5-player expansion.
And we sold the game.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay, that 5-player expansion was bad.
We played a 5-player version of this game, and it took 6 hours.
I don't think you're exactly.
And mainly because everyone was just so frustrated with the game, people just stopped trading with each other. There was just
that's partly also because of the smack talk going down. But that's, that's typical of a Catan game, period. I mean, there was some great player dynamic going on.
There was player anger.
Well, when people were trading the lead back and forth, and I mean, the game lends itself to dragging out like that, right? Because for that exact reason, you're like, you know what? That would help you win. I'm not going to trade that with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, then people wouldn't.
It's another one of those games that reminds me a lot of Munchkin, where usually the person in second place usually ends up winning the game.
Because the first player gets beat up.
Yeah, no one will trade with them. No one helps them. Everyone's trying to block their roads and block them off. And,
well, and
which they should, but it just... In this game, it's very easy.
But
it's very easy to punish the person in front.
It is.
Just like Munchkin. It's very easy to punish the front runner.
Yeah. There's a lot of dogpiling on the leader for those things. And I think, and you guys are pointing it out in the chat too, is like that it's, where did I see it? I just saw it and just blink. Ooh. Wow.
What?
Oh, my train of thought just went pow.
Wow.
There it is. Okay, it's bare bones. Nowadays,
yeah, there's like I said, there's 10,000 games better than this now.
They took this and now it's an element in the game, right? Or they finessed how you do the bartering aspect. I'm thinking about just even TI4 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Think of the aspects of Catan that are in that game,
right.
But it's like a piece of it now, right? Not the whole game, and it solves all of the weird beating up the leader problem, and everything. It levels the playing field. There's so many other games that do that.
And there's some brutal people that are pros of this game. And again,
oh yeah,
I have a lot of anger towards pro players.
Me too.
I think if I went to like the World Championships, I'd be like,
you're
angry guy.
You're a fun, happy player.
But like Catan lends itself to go, hey, I have all these sheep here. I'll trade you sheep. Here. Look at this. I'm being so generous. Monopoly. Give me all the sheep back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that card. That card is the devil. That is so true.
Oh man. Yeah, this one. It was on my short list. It's right here. I marked it out. I didn't include it because I respect the game, but I think the rating is
for what it is. It's just overrated.
I mean, Catan is just slowly going down and down and down and down the ratings because.
Well, there's an insane amount of really good games.
There is probably a percentage of people that are going back and re-rating it. I did. I went back and re-rated it. But you also got people that are new to the hobby that play like, an amazing modern game, and then they're like, hey, I want to try Catan out, and they're like, ooh, this is a really bad game. I think if you took a new player and gave him a really solid midweight Euro game, modern midweight Euro game, and if he really enjoyed it and liked it and had fun with it, and you go, here's Catan, let's try this one, he's going to go, oh my gosh.
Do you know what this is like? It's like when you have an infant and you're teaching them how to eat different foods. If you start with the nasty pears, not pears.
Pears are delicious.
Pears are delicious. Peas. Start with the
peas. Peas are delicious.
Not to babies. Okay. You start out with the peas. They don't know any better. And they're like, all right, this is good. But if you start out with the pears,
and he's like, here's
and
peas.
then you're like, here's some peas.
Like, give me those pears
Guess
back.
what? They're gonna spit that stuff out.
Yeah.
People are spitting out Catan.
Honestly, that's a good analogy. I think that's true.
Just
So, I mean, it's down to 383, I guarantee.
But it's still in the top 500
But because
games.
you got thousands and thousands of people that rated it high when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing when it first came out.
Yeah.
It was like the game at the time.
Yeah, Nathan, same kind of problem with like Monopoly and stuff too, right? Yeah. Nope, you're right.
I mean, it just doesn't compare to what
It's true.
modern stuff.
True.
But like someone said in the chat, it keeps players involved every turn. There's so many games
It's true.
that you share turns with other players. In fact, that's like one of the big new hot things is that whole everyone's taking simultaneous type stuff.
No, it's true. That's true.
Like Space Base, for example. It's very Catan-esque. It has some.
There's something you can do as a reaction, right? Like,
you can see that there's Catan, a lot of Catan in that game, and it's the same thing. You roll the dice. Everyone's watching. What do you roll? Oh, I get something. Yay!
Yeah, and I do agree with that. It's nice to have a game where you at least are engaged.
One of my favorite games, Oracle of Delphi, is the same way. It has the same aspect. I roll my dice, and everyone's like, "Oh, what did I get? Do I get something?" I mean, it's
because a lot of times with that, you kind of put your head down and do your thing, right? So.
As far as I know, it came from Catan. I mean, there may have been other games further back that had it, but that's the one everyone knows where that.
And it was popular enough that people based it off of it, right?
That's that whole simultaneous interest in your turn.
Keeping it.
You're not doing anything. I mean, there's games that even more so. It's even bigger today. Is that you actually piggyback? Like Rebecca goes and harvests her field. Well, I pay a token and I get to harvest my field too. I mean, they've taken it even further.
No, that's true.
Beyond that. So.
That's true.
Too much about Catan. Let's move on. My number 4.
I agree.
Again, this is a whole category of games. This is the one I picked.
Oh, dear.
And That's Pretty Clever. First off, any person that calls their game That's Pretty Clever is already got a mark against them in my book.
Oh, dear. Is that like saying the most fun game of all time?
Yes.
And you're like,
the most amazing game ever. The game.
You're like, nope. No, it's not.
So, this is just... Rebecca talked... What game did you talk about you felt was work?
Agricola.
These games are just work. It's just. I feel like I'm writing an essay for college or something. It's like, I get to mark. I get to mark this red thing. Oh wow, I get a green one this time. Oh my gosh! How do people play roll and rights? Please explain roll and rights to me.
It's just a quick little low budget, fun little...
I'm sure people feel the same way about Sudoku. I love this Sudoku. They probably feel the same way about... the way you feel about Sudoku is the way I feel about this game. It's like... Where's the fun? Show me where the fun is.
Getting a high score. I'm not super crazy about the game myself, so... I'm not incredibly clever.
I've played probably...
But I still love Yahtzee 2 Troll.
I've played about a half dozen roll and rights. And every one of them, I'm just... Someone win. Please, someone just win the game. It's just... I don't know. I don't get any enjoyment out of...
Rolling dice.
I got 293 this time. That's 2 better than my previous play.
Unless you're playing the stock market game.
I don't say how much money I made. Oh, I made 10,000 this time. I made 9,000 the last game. No, I don't ever keep track of scores like that. Don't. I don't ever. I've never been that like. Oh, this is my new highest score I've got in this game. I've never. That interest doesn't. And I you know what's funny? This goes back to my video gaming roots because I was never that person where I played a game and I had to get the high score.
Yeah, you just like to conquer the game and you're good.
I never I scored 8,000 on Space Invaders this time. Yay! It's 10 points more than my previous best. No. Well, I played this game at this particular game at BGG Spring. And about 3 rolls of the dice in, I was just like, whatever.
See, I don't know. Like, I liked playing like Silver and Gold, and I like some of the simple little.
Well, no,
things,
that's the reason it's not higher. Well, it is pretty high on my list. It's number 4.
It's
but
number 4.
it should be number 1. No, there's lots of games that should be number 1. The it just I understand why people like it. It's the same people that like play those Bejeweled games.
That's me.
Yeah, I mean that's why that's not.
What are you trying to say?
Maybe I am categorizing you, but I just don't click. Oh, I got to level 31 this time. That's my. I've never got to level 31. Hooray! Let's do the same thing again. Oh, I only got to 29 this time. No, there's no interest.
What was it you said last time? We spent way too much time. Oh, that's so clever. Moving on.
It's not that clever. And now there's a bazillion of these games. It shows you how the quality of these games when anyone can just go, hey, look, I made a roll and right.
Not just anyone. Oh my goodness, stop it. You know, people do that with board games. Have you seen some of Tom's reviews? Just saying. If you're going to go that direction.
All right, what's your number 4?
There. My number 4, again, I'm going to break some hearts.
This is one, when you were making your list, I forgot about this one.
Did you?
This should
Okay.
have been on my list.
Yeah.
This should have been on my list.
And you guys have heard me talk about it before.
I never went back and re-rated this.
Oh, you didn't?
No, so I basically went by my ratings, and it's got eliminated without me knowing it, because I never went back and re-rated this game, so it's got a somewhat high rating, because first couple rounds I enjoyed it, and then we realized this game, well, I'll let you talk about it. There you go.
It's near and far. If you hadn't already guessed from Mr. Antifreeze over here. I love Ryan Lockett's stuff and I love his art. But when we're told it's like a campaign, I believe that's what it was called, campaign style?
Campaign, yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of ongoing campaign. Like Pandemic Legacy, which we had played not too horribly long before this. So I was excited about it, and I'm gonna not spoil anything, but when you go from adventure to adventure, shall we say, you kind of just reset and start over. There's very little.
No. If you build up enough points, you get to check a little box.
No, listen, I
that gives you a skill.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, very, very, very little do you carry over to the next one. And then the storyline is its own little isolated thing, really. There's not an overarching thing. It didn't feel like a campaign. And I was just really disappointed because I feel like it was like misadvertised, I think. And if we were just to play it as and treat it like an above and below game,
right?
It's fine.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And that's why I had a high rating early on, because we liked the mechanics. We liked how the game played. We liked how the game played.
The art is insane. I just love
the stories are
characters.
interesting.
And what you're doing, like how you travel and stuff, I really enjoyed the mechanisms between traveling back in town and getting supplies and going out and adventuring.
You gotta try to stay out as long as you can.
Yes, you can go out and get more stuff.
Right.
And I like that, but the story that went with it just killed me. And I think what kind of clinched it too is there was one instance in one adventure. It wasn't even in between two adventures. It was during one adventure. I encountered this guy and stuff happened, and we'll say, so I don't spoil anything for the sake of, we'll say he died. Okay? I encountered the guy later in the adventure.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been able to do that, because he died. It was a thing like that.
Yeah.
And I was like...
It wasn't quite that extreme.
It was not that drastic, but
yeah.
it was enough that you're like, oh, this should have been a major plot thing. This should have not...
Right.
It just bugged me. I don't know. It just really bugged me.
My biggest...
And I really wanted to love that game even more. But that just... that did it for me. And again, I still like this game. It's just that I just...
The campaigns?
For where it's rated, I don't think it should be rated that high.
Yeah, I was about to say that we never played the character campaign because we were already done with it at that point, but that probably would have been better for us. But
I think we should have done just
my biggest arc, other than you don't feel like you're progressing, is I did this cool thing, I did this interaction, I got this cool item. Oh, I don't get it for the next round.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
I'm like, what? I did all this stuff to get this cool thing, and now, you get to use it one time. Anyway.
Yeah.
We wanted a growing campaign, and if you watch recent videos, my big thing is I want to feel like I'm progressing. I want to feel like I'm growing. I want to feel like I'm becoming more powerful and more amazing.
Empires of the Void too.
What? Yeah, which you do. You start out with beating two sticks together. At the end of the game, you're like crazy powerful.
I am the champion.
It's like it has this build up arc, and then it resets, and you have another build up arc, and it resets, and you have another build up arc, and it needs to be more of a you build and 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 build.
Yeah.
And you do get more skills, but like you spend like 3 games and you get one new skill that might help you on a die roll somewhere.
Yeah.
I missed this one. I didn't. I think I rated. I think anything I rated 7 or higher. I didn't even look at.
Oh really? Oh wow.
And I think I rated this as 7 because I never went back.
I
never went back and revisit because usually I play a game once or twice and I throw a rating in and I usually don't go back.
Yeah.
And I should have went back and re-rated this one.
Yep. All right. What's your number 3?
We're already to 3s?
We are.
My number 3 is Ethnos.
I so knew you were going to put
one of the few games in the history of my gaming career that I did not finish.
Oh, wow. You didn't finish it?
You played with me. We packed it up and put it away halfway through the game.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Caveats.
What's weird, I feel like I played it.
We played 2-player, which probably is horrible for this game.
Yeah.
But there is just so many things going against this game. This has been said 1,000 times. I'll say this is the 1,001th time it's been said. The art is horrible. The game is it looks like some high school project. Build a board game. Okay, let's take a generic looking map and put some discs on it.
True.
It does.
Yeah. See, like Kabuki's even saying that you played it 2-player. Yuck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But there's things that irked me, and like for example, I think I played the Halflings. If you look at the cards, and if I think I'm remembering this correctly, the art on every single card is the same exact picture.
Yeah, it was.
I have a deck of 20 cards or whatever, and there are different abilities on the cards or different uses of the cards, but it's the same picture on every single card.
Weird. It was weird.
So I'm like, shouldn't you have, if I'm doing like an attack card, shouldn't you have like a halfling with like a spear or something? No, it's the same picture on all the entire deck of cards.
Yeah.
They're all exactly the same picture.
A
The different races that maybe this the ones that we picked, I didn't feel like I am like super different than what she was.
I think that might have been what we picked too, though.
It could have been. It just didn't draw me in. It just didn't. Nothing about the game felt fun to me, and I don't know. I mean, it's. And I can enjoy games that are very bare bones and very basic. I mean, I love El Grande, and that's just a bunch of cubes on a board. I mean, and it's got
that's true.
It's got a very generic looking map too, but at least there's interesting gameplay with the cards and stuff. I never felt drawn into the game at all.
Yeah.
And some people just love this game. They just think
that's true. I mean, it got a lot of hype and stuff for a long time when it came out.
Again, this is my experience with the game. This is probably one of the ones that maybe if it's a different experience, but this game is begging for like a deluxe version.
That's true. You know what? Neutral has a really good point too. This is why I hate it when companies slap crazy player counts on their games. No, you're totally right.
Yeah,
because they're like, it probably shouldn't have 2-player.
Again, it may have been a
not
different
recommended for. They should do a recommended for but can play. Wasn't it Rodney Smith I think mentioned that once.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. They really need to amend that just a little bit, and I think they'd sell more.
Or
I think that would
big print on the board. 2-player variant or not recommended with 2 players, but able to play 2 players.
Yeah.
Because we encountered a lot of games like that. But we like a lot of games.
We did a whole segment on that for a long time.
We like a lot of players that people say don't play well 2 players too.
That's true.
We do enjoy a lot of games like that. So it doesn't bother us that the 2-player version is slightly different than the other version.
But if it's not good 2-player at all, they shouldn't recommend it for 2. That's different.
But yeah, on top of the bad gameplay, it's the art was horrible. The game, I mean, it needs, like I said, it needs a deluxe version. Imagine you had little. I mean, it's totally.
Oh, it would be awesome as a deluxe version.
So
Superfluous?
Yeah. They should have like little halfling miniatures and little ogre miniatures.
You know what? I probably could get into a super overproduced
and make a really
version of
nice
Yeah.
looking board with really better art. The cards, take all the cards and have every card that's...
Ooh! Julio says reskin it with Lord of the Rings, too.
But anyway, so...
Sell it!
Have the cards, like, if it's an attack card, have a halfling with a spear.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
a defense card, they're, like, hiding behind a wall or something. But it's just a picture of a halfling on every single card. Or whatever it is. I don't know what the pictures are. I remember I looked through my cards and like, they're
all the same.
Are they all the same card? And I look down at the skills and they're all different.
You're killing Kabuki. She's like, but it's John Owl art. It's not the art. No, you're right, Kabuki. It's not that he hated the actual picture.
This is in my opinion. As Z Garcia said, that you should have a little thing across your forehead.
This is my opinion.
This is my opinion.
Hector, you're such a troll. All right, so my turn.
Yep.
Here's where I make Hunter cry.
We just bought this game.
I know.
Spoilers to Thursday.
Okay, just put it on the thing. I think Brass Birmingham is overrated. And here's why. It's number 3.
It is number 3.
In Board Game Geek.
It is number 3.
Number 3. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a good game. I see your point. Not number 3.
The third best game in the history of board gaming?
No.
Okay.
Not even close. Don't get me wrong. It's a good game. It's a really good game. It's a solid game. It is not number 3 in the universe. No.
You sure?
I'm sure. It is not number 3, guys. I dare say...
Well, it's not better than War of the Rings, so I can't really disagree with you.
My case rests.
This is a 9 rating for a game for me, so I think it's a really good game.
It is a good game. I'm not disputing that. I just think it's overrated. It's number 3 right now. I just looked it up. That's crazy.
Crazy good.
No. It's not that crazy good.
Yes, it's brass. It's the original brass with an added mechanism on top of it.
Yeah. It's really good. It's just not number 3 good.
Beautiful production, beautiful cards, beautiful everything.
Yes. Just not number 3.
How about number 4?
No.
So if you like heavy Euro games, this is a really, really amazing heavy Euro game. It's got a lot of interaction. It's got a lot of, it's very thematic.
Well, the resource manipulation and how you're planning out what you need to do.
Multi-use cards. Awesome. It's got a really awesome bidding for turn. The bidding for turn is like, it's interesting. How much money you're going to spend on the turn is kind of it's really interesting.
Yep.
How the bidding works in the game. It's a really, really great game, but I tend to agree with their third best game ever. That's kind of...
Yeah.
So what is this? Gloomhaven? It's number 2.
I don't remember now. I was so shocked that this was number 3. It kind of
I knew it was number 3.
I was just like, no!
Oh, no one's
Huh?
No one's going live or... Okay, good.
Oh, you going to Board Game Geek?
Whatever reason, when I start typing Board Game Geek,
it goes to the live thing.
After we did the virtual con marathon.
I virtually do marathons every day. I virtually imagine.
Oh, Pandemic Legacy, Season 1, of course.
Oh, yeah. And I get that. Okay. Brass Birmingham? Nope. Sorry.
Like I said, I rated a 9, so I didn't. It got eliminated from
I think things like Gloomhaven and Twilight Imperium and those, I get that, but I can't put Brass there yet. Sorry, just can't.
I can't disagree with this, but it is a really amazing game. We had a really bad and we had a bad experience when we played it.
Again, I can see the game for what it is, and it is a really good game. I just don't think it's number 3, so I'm done. I just keep saying that over and over now because.
That's your argument?
That's my argument.
It's a pretty good argument.
Because that's why it's overrated. And that's why it's so high up on my overrated. And here's where Hunter gets...
My number 2 is The Mind. It shouldn't even be listed as a game. Alright, I'm done. I played this with my children.
Oh my gosh, that was...
And Nessa looked at me and said... my sweet little innocent daughter. She was probably 7 at the time, maybe. This sucks. And I'm like, looked at her and I said, I agree with you.
She's like, are we done now? And it was like, we can be.
This game. Here's the
Both
thing.
girls
Anyone
didn't
that
like it.
anyone that is good at this game
They must be cheating.
is cheating at this game.
Yep.
If you play by the rules, it is random fest. I've heard of people that tap the table. I've heard people that count in their head 100, 99, 98,
Oh, and then it,
97,
as it's time,
96,
oh,
95,
that's interesting.
94. No, you're cheating. You're supposed to be on the same wavelength. You're supposed to be able to interact with them in their brain and just know. Oh my gosh, this game. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, Buki. I have to disagree with you. I don't feel like it's a game. I don't.
It's an activity. It is a game.
I mean,
I'm mostly making fun of it. It is a game. It's as much a
guess,
game
it is
as
a
like
game,
Uno
but-
is.
Well, yeah. It's
mean,
just... Yeah.
If you consider Uno a game, then this is just as much a game. But anyone
Yeah,
says,
okay,
anyone
I
says,
see
man,
that.
we win at this game every time. They have a system and they're cheating.
Well, no, Buki's right. The creator said that your group can play it whatever way they want. So
They're cheating. You can't do.
if you're supposed to be reading everybody's minds, okay.
You can't count in your head. You're supposed to.
You know what
the
I
way,
would
the
do?
way, the way they
I would
intend it
kick
is
him
it's
under
the
the table.
tension, right? It's like, okay, I've got
37.
I've got a 33, and we just played a 40. How long do I wait? Now, that's how you're supposed to play the game, and it's not like, okay, I've counted to 10. Time to play my card. It's just everyone I heard that wins at this game, they have a system.
That's the point, though, right?
No, it's cheating. Why don't you have a countdown timer with the number on it, 199, and you just look at the timer, and that's when you play your card. Oh, I'm getting hanged.
Sarah says the mind is in the same niche as those that magic trick for kids kits you get.
I won't disagree with that. It's just I'm getting these
Oh, that's interesting, Kabuki. I didn't realize that. The creator even said that he didn't like how they printed that you can have no communication in any way. He didn't mean for it to be that way. See, that's disappointing. Why didn't they listen to him more? That makes more sense to me.
It's just it's a random fest, and it's like, because I mean, how are you going? If I have the 39 and you have a 20, how long do you wait? I mean, it's just, you have to be doing something. You have to be counting in your head. You have to be tapping. You have to be doing something to know. So angry.
Why are you so angry? What is...
I haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. He's hangry.
I need a Snickers bar.
Someone get him a Snickers.
I need a Snickers bar.
See, and it's funny. That's the same guy that made Wavelength, and we love Wavelength.
Oh, this is one I missed too. But
Okay, so my number 2...
what number was it rated? Maybe I didn't go down this
I don't
far.
remember. I didn't go as far as you.
Okay, I don't know why I didn't. I must.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably skipped over it.
I probably had fond memories of
playing it?
of the.
Okay, yeah. So the game is Conan. Now, again, we had a ball playing it.
Because it was
To a
3
point-
a.m. and we were playing with.
It was some stupid hour we were playing at some Dice Tower Marathon. So it's like got this kind of star-spangled memory to it. But at its heart, the game, looking back at it too, I was like, we did nothing. If you're not Conan, you don't do squat. You're like, I hand Conan his arrows so he can kick their butt. I'm like, go Conan, go! And that's all I did. You cheer for Conan as he goes and slays everything.
Oh my gosh.
It was so weird. It was just like you kind of were sitting in the background.
This is a great choice now that I think about it. I don't know why I rated this a 7. I think it was the memory of playing with who we played with.
You know what? Because you can make that fun. And we had fun playing it. But looking back at it too, and I was like, I don't understand why. Like, I don't know. It's just Conan is so overpowered.
Yeah. He's
so overpowered compared to the other characters.
Reminds me of
if you just had the other characters and not Conan, you could band together and like fight and like make a big good fight out of it. Right. I think. But if you play with Conan, he just comes in and he's like Hulk smash, and then next thing you know, it's game over, and you're like, yay, go. I think I did something in that fight. I'm not sure. It's...
It reminds me of video games where you're like this. You're really powerful. You're this really powerful warrior with a big giant sword.
Yes.
And there's like a little dude that follows you around and casts a little spell on you occasionally. Like,
that's what it felt like.
He gives me a little buff occasionally.
That's what it was. It was a buff. I felt like I was a character buff. That's all it was.
And we would do. I would do something. I would like do a little thing, and then he would like destroy this and attack this and kill 4 things, and I'm like...
It was like, yeah, I helped him do that with that buff there. Did you see that? That's basically what happens. And you're right, the miniatures and stuff in that are really cool. Like, the production's amazing. The
maps are amazing.
The map was so cool.
Yeah.
And you're right, if you're not playing Conan, though, you're like...
And again, we love you, Vernon, but you're a very brutal game master. We played with a person that just... apparently the game master has a lot of leeway of how tough he makes it on you.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, you're getting the full...
He's like, you should take the brunt.
I swear, at one time, he picked up like 45 dice.
That was not this game.
Yeah, it was. It was Conan.
Was it Conan? I don't think it was this game.
I think it was Conan.
No, it wasn't Conan. That was the others.
Was it the others?
It was the others. You're thinking the others.
Anyway.
No, it wasn't Conan.
It was this game. We were playing, he's like, ha ha ha, there's this giant, massive, nasty, disgusting thing. Bloom, you're all dead. You don't remember?
Didn't die in Conan?
Yeah, we did. He destroyed us.
I thought we won.
No, we did not win.
I think you're thinking...
No!
I'm gonna have to go back and watch
Vernon
this now.
annihilated us in both games.
Did he really?
I don't know what you're remembering.
Because
I remember it was Conan. I was like, oh, we got this. We're almost winning. And like he pulls out this miniature he was painting the entire time.
That is something he is like stupidly talented
we were playing
at.
And we were like, oh, we're so close. We barely have enough life. And he's like, here's the big boss. Da da da, and just annihilated us.
Okay.
And I died midway through the game, and I was just watching.
Yeah. That's funny.
I was a little character.
You're like the buff guy. You're like,
this is a good choice.
But
I think I rated this a 7 because we were laughing. It was me, you,
gosh.
Z, and Sam, and we were just joking and laughing. And
we got
it was like shared misery, right?
It was so fun. We just got destroyed.
And Sam was Conan. He was having a blasty blast.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He just smashed. But that's the thing is like the game is hilarious. And you're right. There's other issues with the game and stuff you guys are bringing up that like the whole macho thing and everything else. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But just for what it's ranked, I was like, this should not be ranked this high. It just shouldn't. Some of these games, when you look at the BGG rankings, just shock me. And this was another one of those. I was like, this should not be that high. I'm just thinking of all the games, and I'm thinking of games that even we own, not even just the games that are out there, which is like ridiculous numbers.
I think this is high because games like this.
Is it the production possibly too?
It's got
the production's insane.
Well, it's got the Kickstarter effect. A lot of these miniature games like this, and I may be crazy saying this, but they get like 1,000 tens before the game even comes out. They're like, I love this game. It's amazing. 10, 10, 10, 10. And it's like, you haven't even seen the final copy of the game. You haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
And then they never go back and change that 10 after they play it. You got all these 10s. And then you have these 10s and 1 wars. Because it's like, oh, you're going to rate it a 10. You haven't played it. I'm going to rate it a 1. And I haven't played it.
See, there's obviously some issues with the rating system.
But some people love this game. I mean, it has a really, what's it called? Something river. It has a very interesting power system, action selection system where you have this river that it's similar to, it reminded me of in a way how when you take actions, things flow along and then you spin those and you bring them back and they flow again, and it's very Terra Mystica-esque to me. So I can see why people like it. It's just balance the characters out a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess if you played all the time, it's like, okay, this week you're Conan, next week I'll be Conan, and the week after Joe Bob will be Conan.
It's part of the IP, right? Because he is overpowering. It's somebody was mentioning Indiana Jones, the same kind of deal, right? Yeah. He has to be better than everyone,
right?
Really, I mean, it's quite thematic if you think about it. It's just that it was like, dang it.
But you can have characters that do really amazing stuff that is not necessarily destroying everything, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. All right, what's my number 1? You'll never guess it. You'll never guess it.
Dominion.
No.
Really? I thought you would have thrown Splendor.
Everyone thought it was Splendor, but no, it's not Splendor. I actually enjoy Splendor. I actually enjoyed the game. I like the game a lot, It's the people I
players?
play with that I do not enjoy. Let's play the game. Let's don't talk about your
what's
teacher
number
problems.
This isn't even your number one. This isn't even your number one, and you're like going off on some diatribe.
It's not the
about...
game. It is the people I play with.
Is that the same for your number one?
No. I just, this game is just a bad game in my
All right,
opinion,
let's see
and
it.
people love this game.
All right.
My number one
I'm curious.
is the Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Oh, I forgot you had not mentioned that.
You
Okay.
see? All right. I'm gonna scale it back a notch because I could just.
Yeah. We're already running late for the day. Come on now.
Yeah, we started late.
Not this late.
Yeah, we did. We started, and we had internet problems. The Quacks of Quedlinburg. This is like everyone loves this game, but it is just it is such a bad game. It is horrible.
Oh man.
So Quacks of Quedlinburg. Here's some of my experiences with the game. The thing is, I actually did really well at the game. You think I got brutalized, but you take all these tokens and you put them in a bag, and there's bad tokens. If you pull a certain number of bad tokens out of the bag, you bust. This literally could be a turn of the game. Rebecca, awesome, cool thing. This is amazing. Whoa, look at oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. Oh wow, holy cow, I can't believe I'm getting all this stuff. My turn could be, I bust.
But
That literally could be a turn of the game.
I haven't played it.
That literally could be a turn.
Sai, you're hilarious. Oh my gosh. Pretend this is negative money. I was so hyped for this number one. This is the most overrated number one overrated game in history.
So you agreeing with me? Is he agreeing with me?
I'm not sure. Most overrated number one overrated game.
That's just part of the reason why.
Negative
money. So I've only played this game one time. Here's my experience with that one play. It was me and Tommy. I don't think Tommy's on tonight. I was having Rebecca turns every turn. I was just trouncing. I was getting all these points and getting crazy stuff every turn. And poor Tommy was over there going, I bust. Oh, I did nothing. I got almost nothing. I got a little bit of stuff. Yeah. That was his entire experience. Here's the thing. This thing has so many crazy quacked out...
You did not just...
Quacked out catch-up mechanisms that he won. He did completely horrible at this game. Every round was crap, and he still won because there's so many catch-up mechanisms in this game. This is catch-up mechanism the game. There's these rat tails. He was getting free points. Wow. There was cards that if you're losing, you get just free stuff and free points. Hey, you're losing. Here's a bunch of stuff you get for no reason. I annihilated Tommy at this game, and I lost.
You know what? It's funny.
What?
You like Orleans?
Because, you know what? I draw stuff out of the bag, and I get to do something. You can't... The equivalent in Orleans is you draw an X that does nothing, and an X that does nothing, an X that does nothing, an X that does nothing, and that's your turn. You get no turn. That's the equivalent. That doesn't happen in Orleans. You draw out some tokens. You're like, okay, I've got these tokens. I need to figure out what I can do to use those tokens in the best efficient manner. You don't have dud tokens. You don't have blank tokens that you're drawing out of your bag. A more appropriate thing would be Thebes, where you can just draw dirt out of the bag.
Yeah, that'd be an overrated probably.
That's the same kind of concept.
Yeah. I saw, where did it go? Xeris. You know what? Xeris had a really interesting point too. His number one's Lord of the Rings: Journeys in Middle Earth. He feels like it's broken at 3 players because you have to have certain character combos to make you like.
That's what we felt. We played with the wrong characters and we were hating the game.
Yeah, didn't give you enough time and stuff. Yeah, we had to tweak our characters to enjoy that game. So I could see that being a number one for you. Absolutely.
So they're talking a lot about bag building games because it's always a bag building game.
Yeah, because now they're arguing or asking if Altiplano is better than Orleans.
I like Altiplano's the way you draw from the bag because it's a true. It's like
you draw
them all out and then you reset. But Orleans, I like the game better because it has. Has the events, it has the trading, it has contracts. We played with the expansion. It has contracts. Has more going on in it. I like the gameplay better. But if you took the Altiplano bag system and put it in Orleans, I'd like it better because then you're going to cycle through all your stuff, right? You're like if you have 2 monks and you just never draw your monks, which are wild, so you're just having bad turns. But if you went through your entire bag, you would get to use all your tokens.
You know,
equally.
several people think you should just draw better tokens out of your bag.
I did. I drew amazing tokens. I actually felt bad for Tommy. I never feel bad for Tommy.
He's not even here to defend himself tonight.
During that game, I felt bad for Tommy because he was just unlucky. He was just
he was having terrible luck. Yeah, he told me about that.
Unlucky. He was just getting crap turn after crap turn, but he won. Which, because there's this, I don't know what card it was. His like, if you're losing, you get like half the points that you're behind the other player.
It's just like Mario Kart.
I'm like,
not Mario Kart, Mario Party.
Oh my gosh,
Mario Party.
He got so much chump charity that he won the game. It's chump charity the game if you play Mario Party.
Wow. Okay.
All right, I've spoken enough about this game.
Okay, you ready for my?
But back to the thing. Everyone was saying Splendor was going to be number one. I actually enjoy Splendor. I enjoy the game. It's just that's a half-hour game.
He just doesn't enjoy me.
It's not an hour and a half long game. It's just that's one of my biggest. You know, I don't mind if you're spending a little bit of extra time figuring out your turn because I do that. I'm guilty of doing that. So if you're like, oh man, I can do this combo, or oh man, I mean, analyze this. But no, it's like, so yeah, yesterday at work, I had this thing happen, and oh my gosh, it was just blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting there going. And then the person talking, like, oh, whose turn is it? It's your turn. It's been your turn for 15 minutes.
He's so fun to play games.
It's okay if you're talking, but
man, this isn't even on your list. Calm down. This is not Hunter Rant's top 10.
Someone's joke is like, Hunter's fired out of a cannon tonight. I'm like, yeah, I am. I should have a secondary.
A fire Hunter
I should have a secondary channel.
Hunter Rants.
Hunter Rants about board games. Because who was it? Was it Eric Lang that said someone needs to come out with
just a negative review channel?
Their whole channel is just negative. Everything is negative.
I laughed so hard when I read that. Yeah.
It's like that's what we need. It's nothing but negative.
Nothing positive. You should just call it nothing positive.
Call it anti-Rotto.
Anti-Rotto. Anti-Rotto. You'd probably get a huge kick out of that. Oh man.
What's your number one? Let me think.
I know this is great.
I have no clue.
No one's guessed it. No one's guessed it.
I have no clue what your number one is.
No one's guessed it. A lot of people are screaming Blood Rage, which I find funny.
She likes Blood Rage.
I love Blood Rage. I think it's greatly rated.
I have no idea. This is going to surprise me. I'm curious.
Yeah, no. Probably not.
Oh, yeah. I didn't put this one on.
This game betrayed me so much. It's Time Stories, guys. Time Stories. You've heard us talk about it.
You have a lot of people that are in the same boat. I'm in the same boat as you, but I actually enjoyed the game somewhat.
I loved the first game we played of this. Loved it. The plot was cool. I was like, okay, we screw something up. If we have to, we reset. Okay. Kind of cool theme, whatever. But then you get to a story that's not as solid, not as good. Some elements in it, clues and stuff, are a little random. You get that kind of like you said, the Tales of Arabian Nights, where something happens and you're like, this doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't follow. It doesn't flow right. There's something weird. And then because you went there and got this weird random clue, now you screwed this up, so you have to reset. And you have to do the entire thing over again, but you have to do it in a precise order to save time so that you can actually progress. Hit repeat on that over and over and over again with every consecutive game. And it just, after a while, I just felt like I was getting flogged playing this game. It just didn't, it lost.
Yeah, this is another one I probably should put on. This is another one I probably didn't go back and re-rate.
It had such huge promise. And I see a lot of people just loving it, but it lost its flavor. And then we were all excited because we're like, okay, the stories are all going to be interconnected. And I mean, they hinted at this. They hinted that there's something big going on in the background. We never got far enough to
figure it out. But
did anything happen of it?
I don't think so.
No one's talked about it. I don't think anything came of that. And yeah, that's not how time
works. Yeah, this one probably should have made
right.
my list. My biggest frustration is...
It doesn't make sense.
Is like you go through all this stuff to get to the point where you made a decision, right?
Yeah.
So you made the decision wrong. It was obvious you made the decision wrong, right?
Yeah.
You have to go all the way back and do all those things again.
And I get, okay, if they're going Groundhog Day approach, you know the movie where it repeats over and over, I can get that. But then you should have a thing. No, you should know what you've already done because you
Right.
remember, like in Groundhog Day.
Well, you keep some of
remember-
your stuff. You keep some
but
of
you
your map
keep-
stuff and things like that, but you don't. You still have to go through the same storyline.
Yeah, and you have to
decisions.
recall exactly. You need to do a lot of that in a precise order, and I just felt like it was just a slog.
But what ended it for me is if you don't do a certain combination of things to get to a certain point, you can just not win, and you may
That's
have no idea I need to do those things. So
That's
you go
true,
back and
too.
try something else and it doesn't work. You go back and try something else and it doesn't work. You go back and try something else and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing this one arc of the story that you just didn't think to do.
Yeah,
And you just can't. You just can't win the game.
Yeah. Is it okay solo? Well, here's the thing with solo game in that, if I recall correctly, you play multiple characters.
Yeah. You. Play.
So if you
I think
like,
you always play all the characters. I think.
I think you're right. I want to say
think-
you're right.
I don't
that
remember.
or you,
We haven't played
or
this
you
in
play
so
a certain
long.
number.
Yeah.
So if it was only 2-player, we'd each have like 2 characters or something. I want
Right.
to say you're right.
Right.
So if you like to play multiple characters and that doesn't bug you, then you probably enjoy the solo play. And it might be easier for you to keep track. I don't know. That's kind of a personal preference on how you like to play like that. But I don't know.
But the first one, we really enjoyed the first one. The first one was really, really good. We loved the
Yeah,
first one. That's why I think
absolutely.
I don't think I went back and
And
lowered my rating.
yeah.
Because I rated it on the first one. The second one was like, okay, this is okay. Yeah, this is all right. And the third one's like, we had that, we couldn't figure out what we were doing wrong. And finally we just pulled out the cards like, we're never going to play this again. We're like, oh, we were supposed to talk to this person over here that we never even went to.
Yeah.
And we couldn't, we was like, what did we do wrong?
Yeah, because it was a
There was
random
this
Joe
random
Schmo
arc
yeah.
over here that gave us something that we needed, and we just never. We always were going back to our mistake point, but we actually needed to do something different further back.
completely. Yeah, and again, there's no way to tell.
Yeah.
And Zara says no spoilers, but apparently the end to the last story was
Well,
bad.
Tom
so
ranted about the ending
did he?
of Time Story. I don't even
Yeah.
know if they've even played the new version at all because he just
because it was so bad.
It
Yeah, and I mean I get
because
it.
there's like a second edition or something.
Yeah, Zara's just said there's a blue series. It shows some promise with the more contained stuff, but we'll see. Yeah, absolutely, we'll see.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, we haven't bought them either.
We went through
Kabuki.
I think we went through 3 expansions. I had already bought 2 more, and it sounds. I think someone else said they had a bunch of unopened expansions.
Mm-hmm.
I just sold them or gave them away. I have no interest.
After we did that,
it was just frustration. It was like, how would we have known?
Yeah, it was just really
And
disappointing.
it wasn't like we were a bunch of knuckleheads that weren't good at
no,
puzzles.
especially because we were playing them 4-player, and we had people that were like, okay, I'm keeping track of
it's
this.
the same crew
we
that's
divided
doing detective, and you guys are rocking that. And I
Yeah.
think detective's more complicated than
Oh,
this
yeah.
game is.
Yeah.
Time Stories was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't a matter of us forgetting per se, like anything.
It needs to.
in
They
particular.
need to have a save game or something, or
There's some feature that they're
something.
missing,
Some
yeah.
card that says, "Oh, maybe you want to go talk to Fred. You missed talking to Fred."
Yeah, like a little clue. That would be
When you go
neat.
back the second time, it's like, "Oh, maybe you should look into this thing," or "There's an anomaly over here. You should look at."
Yeah.
It's frustrating to do that cycle through like 5 times and never find the missing link.
Kabuki. Yes, you haven't played text adventures back in the day. Oh yes. Yes, we have. And that frustration is what comes out in this, I think. I think you're very right. Because
Yeah.
you're like, you have to type the exact
it's
correct thing. It's like,
You were supposed to
walk
look up in the
east.
cavern,
You're like,
and you had no idea you were supposed
like,
to look
I
up
didn't
in the
even know that
cavern.
was an option.
Oh, you look up and you see a sparkling thing on the ceiling. Like, how would I even have known to look up?
I've reset playing some text adventures so many times because of nonsense like that. Time Stories, shame on you for bringing up this painful memory.
You hit on several that I probably would have put on my list. You did good. You did a good job.
Oh, thanks, because this was a hard list for me, I gotta be honest, because I was telling Hunter, this is not my mindset. I don't usually think, oh, this is like an overrated game. I feel like, I don't know.
You're pretty easygoing about games.
I do, I like most games, and I usually tend to think of them more if they're underrated, be like, wow, I wish more people knew about this. It's like, I like to find the little hidden gems and stuff, and I tend to dismiss and not think about it. I'm like, oh, Time Stories.
Yeah,
I block the negativity, be gone from my life.
So it's
just,
funny you
I don't
speak
know.
of underrated games. What I think
Spork.
I think I might write the.
Oh, you're gonna write a poll? You gonna make another poll for the
the brothers Murph and steal one of their ideas. They came up with an amazing idea. Maybe we'll steal it. Several people have already stolen it. What they did is they took the you're talking about underrated to kind of highlight some games we might not normally talk about, but they took the top 1,000 and each set of 100 they picked their favorite game in each set of the 100.
Oh, how fun. Okay.
So the 1 to 100, and then 101 to 200. You have one game.
That's a cute.
One
that's
game
a cool
for
idea.
each.
I like that.
And it was interesting because I just looked and said, okay, what would be my list? And there were some games I rarely talk about that wouldn't make the list because they just where they landed.
Yeah, I could see that.
But anyway, I agree with you. Underrated list is a little more positive than this list.
It is. Well, this one's negative, but it's kind of interesting, too, because you start to dissect the games in a different way when you look at them from this perspective. Because I've looked at these games differently than if I was just, like, Maracaibo. If we were just to sit down and play that game right now, we would sit down and we wouldn't play it the campaign. We've already discussed that. We would just play the game.
And I actually thought about
awesome that way.
And I actually thought about writing our own scenarios because you can take the parts from the campaign and design your own board.
You could, and it's just so much fun. And so thinking about it this way, it's kind of interesting because you look about what is it that I like in the game and what makes this overrated? Why? And so, I mean, it's a good exercise. It's just a difficult one for me in particular. I don't know. So, and it was cool to see that a lot of you had, and it was, I liked the differing opinions and stuff.
Oh yeah,
too.
some of them
some interesting
we hit on some of their favorite games, right?
Yeah, but then some of you were like, I totally identified with that. I had that list, and I'd see like some of you ranked it in a different spot, and it's the same game. I'm like, yep, I get it. So,
and almost every game, except maybe the Mind and Quacks, I can see why people like them. Mm-hmm. Quacks and the Mind,
you can't wrap your brain around those.
And what's funny is with when for the convention I played it at and several conventions later, everybody's like, "This is the most amazing game. It's awesome. It's." I don't know.
And that put it in the overrated category right away for you, huh?
They were just people are still raving about this game. It just got somewhat recently got an expansion. It sold well, and
that's true.
I guess if you can just laugh it off. No, there's very few games where I can that are super random. I just go, wee, this is fun. There's a very small number of games that.
It's true. Zombie Dice and
Cult Express.
And not Lost Cities.
Ink and Gold.
Ink and Gold. I was like.
There's several games I like that are like that, but they're all. The key thing is it's very short. No, Lost Cities I don't like. Lost Cities almost made my list, but that game just makes me angry because I'm not good at it.
That's fun.
It's a different type of anger.
Yep.
All right, so that's it, folks. Sorry about the internets. Apparently, from now on, when we start having problems, I'll just reset, and that seemed to fix it. So I'll just do that going forward if we have problems. We had a long stretch there where we didn't have any problems.
Yeah. Well, and again,
kids are getting back in school.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, there was a lot of internet activity going on in the house all day long, and nothing was slow. It just baffles me that it's like, aha, you're going to stream? Let's fix that. It's just
all right, so next week is our variety show. We'll do a variety of things. We got a couple of new purchases for my birthday that happened Sunday. We got a new game.
We need to check some off the lists. We need to be playing some
and we
games.
need to play some. We're gonna play. Hopefully this week we'll play games. Last week we didn't play hardly any games, but tomorrow, for us anyway, first day of school. So we'll see how much games we get played.
I know.
Tomorrow is the first day of school.
Yeah.
For us, for our
district. Yeah. So the day of cake.
Day of cake. Day of pie. I'm not a cake person.
He's a pie.
I don't like cake. I'm weird.
He is weird.
Don't like cake.
But your favorite pie is delicious, so let it pass.
I have pie.
Yeah, I'm curious about Pendulum too. I see you guys talking about it. I'm very curious.
That's going to be a play it before I buy it game. I don't know when I'm going to be able to play it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's a play it before we buy it.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of here.
It was wonderful chatting and interacting with you all tonight. And we will see you next Tuesday.
Or I guess it could be Wednesday.
Cake is overrated.
Will it be Wednesday?
But everything is cake.
Will it be Wednesday for some people?
What? Well, yeah, it depends on what part of the world you're
Yeah,
in.
it'd be Wednesday for some.
Why are you doing math now? It's time to go. You just rambling?
Bye!
Bye, guys.